I've been dreaming of this trip for so long, and I'm finally here. Hello from the Oregon coast. I've taken a trip to Portland with my Delta SkyMiles Platinum American Express card to photograph a destination I've wanted to for years, the Oregon coast. The Oregon coast is one of the most scenic and photogenic places in the US, but I haven't spent much time here, which especially surprises me because I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I've started my trip at the southern part of the coast. There's a 12-mile scenic corridor here with bluffs, beaches, viewpoints, hiking trails, and it is honestly so pretty. I'm here on a solo trip, but there's a part of me that wishes I had someone else here to drive me so that I could just look out the window the whole time. Some people say that the southern stretch of this coastline is the most beautiful, and I see why. I couldn't find a bad view if I tried. One of the hallmark features of the Oregon coast is rock formations out in the ocean called sea stacks, and they make for really pretty photos, not only during the day, but also at night if you're into astrophotography. I also did some hiking. There are so many trails around here, and none of them were very long. However, some of them were very steep. So look up the trail before you head down it. You'll need some good hiking boots for some of these, but the scenery is so worth it. This is one of the best views I have ever seen anywhere in my life. I can't get over how picture perfect this cove is with these natural bridges all kind of angled toward each other, like just lined up for a photo. It's a little foggy, but the sun is starting to break through, so it's like a warm mist. This is so beautiful. I am filthy from hiking down this hill, but it's so worth it. From here, I began to make my way up the coast, and this trip itinerary was pretty easy to put together. I flew from Austin to Portland with Delta, and when I book my Delta flights with my Delta Amex, I get to check my first bag for free, so I'm saving up to $70 round trip. And with my enrolled Delta Amex card, I can earn up to $120 back in statement credits annually, up to $10 a month on eligible purchases with US Resi restaurants, so I always find somewhere great to eat. In Portland, I rented a car and drove all the way down the coast to the city of Gold Beach, and then from there, slowly worked my way back up the coast toward Portland. There is so much to see on this coastline, so many little towns, scenic pullouts, nature areas. One of my favorite stops was the Hasita Head Lighthouse for sunset. This is perched over 200 feet above the Pacific Ocean, and it's the most photographed lighthouse in Oregon, and it's also the brightest. Its beams stretch 21 miles out to sea. I photographed this from a roadside pullout. I consistently found on this trip that I could get great photos from the side of a road. So if you're looking for a road trip where you can see a lot from your car, this is it. I've made it to Cannon Beach, which is one of the more popular stops on the coast, and understandably so. It is so cute and charming. There are flowers everywhere, growing up the sides of buildings, little shops and restaurants. The beach itself is so beautiful and clean, and you have the iconic Haystack Rock perched right in the water off of it, and it's so close you feel like you could almost walk right up to it. Something really cool about the beach experience here is the fires in the evening. Right around sunset, you can see flickers starting throughout the sand, and some hotels even offer a beach fire experience where they'll set one up for you, and it's so nice to bundle up by a fire next to the ocean, even on a moody, misty evening like this one. If you come to Cannon Beach, you should definitely check out Ecola State Park as well. This is about 10 minutes away, and it's a really pretty drive. It winds through this lush forest. There are these huge trees here that have to be some notable species because the trunks are enormous. And there's also a really nice viewpoint that looks back down the coast over Cannon Beach. You can even see Haystack Rock in the distance. A piece of gear that's been so essential on this trip that I would recommend to anybody doing outdoor photography, but especially if you're taking pictures near water, like at the ocean or a lake. It's a circular polarizing filter. This is designed to cut glare and reflections in your image. Once you see the difference that this makes, you can't unsee it. You will always want to have one of these in your bag. And they're really easy to use. You thread it on your lens and then you rotate the outer ring until you see the glare being cut from the image. And it's always going to need to be a different spot depending on what angle the sun is at, what direction you're shooting. So you always want to adjust it and make sure it's in the right place. And it's really surprising how much glare there can be in places where you wouldn't expect there to be any. Like right now I have a polarizing filter on this lens and I'm going to twist it a few times so you can see the difference it's making in this image. So watch the greens. The greens are going to get really bright once I twist this. Do you see that? Like the white now reflecting off of all of these greens. And if I twist it back, look at how much more vivid, how much more saturated they look. And then also skin, it will soften the highlights on the skin so you can see as everything starts to reflect more, even my face is getting more of a reflection. And especially for water, a polarizer is so essential to get that glare off of the surface so you can actually shoot down and see the blue of the water. It'll also make your skies more vivid and blue. Well, this is it for my Oregon coast adventure. I have thoroughly enjoyed driving around this week, exploring. I feel like I got some really great photos in a variety of weather as well. I got that very sunny, summery weather for those golden shots, and then I also got that classic Pacific Northwest, foggy, cloudy, moody weather as well. Also, one of the nights I went out hoping to do astrophotography to shoot the Milky Way, but it was a little too cloudy and foggy, but instead there was bioluminescence in the water. I was actually very lucky that another photographer tipped me off about this, otherwise I would have had no idea it was there, but it was the strongest bioluminescence I've ever seen. It was like electric waves crashing on the beach, and that was such a treat. I think I might have to print one of those. Thanks for coming along with me on this one. Be sure to click the link in the description to learn how you can make the most of your travels with the Delta SkyMiles Platinum American Express card. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.